Making games takes a lot of work. Even ones that seem like they're going to be so simple to make just end up taking so much time and effort. That's the problem I'm facing right now with my current project, Simulator Game Simulator. I thought, oh, this will be a simple project. Oh, I can do this in a few months. Oh, I'll be able to finish this before the summer's over. But I was wrong. I've been working at it on and off for almost a year at this point, and I still have so much more to do on it. So to help keep myself motivated to work on this project, I've decided to start making devlogs. Recently, I've been doing dev streams over on my Twitch quite often. Link in the description. But that hasn't really been doing it for me. So hopefully these devlogs will be able to keep me going and not burn me out even more. This is the first devlog I've ever made, and I have no idea what I'm doing. I've seen other ones, and they have all this fancy schmancy art and everything from the get-go. Nah, not me. I'm a programmer. I do programming, not art. The art comes later. Right now, my game is just a bunch of rectangles and cubes on the screen, but hey, it works. I'll get more into what Simulator Game Simulator is about later, but I think the name is a little bit self-explanatory. This first devlog is going to be about a pet simulator sequence that the player will have to play through during my game. The pet simulator is meant to be like a simpler version of like the old pet games like Nintendogs or Tamagotchi and like other games kind of like that. So the player will have a pet and they'll be able to feed and clean and play with them. You see my rectangles? And to make this happen, I needed to make a drag and drop system. I've done this before, but I did it in a really scuffed way. I used Unity's built-in UI buttons to detect when the player clicked and released the mouse on the object, and it worked great. But I don't really want to do that again this time around. I've learned. And I found out that Unity kind of already has built-in functionality for detecting clicking and dragging on objects. This made everything so much easier. I had all the detection implemented already. I just had to implement the functionality. There are a few items that the player can use to interact with their pet. They have a food item so they can feed their pet, they have a cleaning item so they can clean their pet, and they have a toy so they can play with their pet. There's actually a fourth mystery item that I won't reveal because it's a mystery, and you'll have to play the game to figure out what that mystery item is. When the player drags and drops an item onto their pet, they affect the pet's status bars. Right now they all look exactly the same, but each one correlates to one of the items. Except for the mystery item. The player is going to need to manage these status bars to keep their pet happy and healthy. And look at these amazing animations I made for the status bars. Oh, so juicy. Oh, and the items have little animations too for when they lock and unlock. Wow, amazing. Alright, enough getting distracted. Let's get back on track. The player will have a guide telling them what they should be doing and guiding them through the game. You can also name your pet and have him say some silly stuff. And to do this, I'm using a dialogue system that I made for a project a few years ago. And this is the only dialogue system I've used since then. It's the best dialogue system in the whole world because I made it. And nobody can tell me otherwise. It lets me really easily sequence the progression of the scenes and the dialogue from a text file. It's kind of nice to have the dialogue its own separate thing from the code so I can actually read it. Though it is easy to lose what part of the dialogue I'm in at what part of my code. I also planned to give this minigame a menu screen, but what a menu screen needs is a title. And I didn't know what type of pet I should have in this game. So I randomly decided to name it Axolotl Pet Simulator. Axolotls are cute, right? Look at him. And I've always wanted to have a pet axolotl. Wait, give me a second. Oh, well, good thing I'm making this game. And later I was feeling bored, so I decided to go and draw up an axolotl sprite. And look at him. He's adorable. I think I did a really good job with him. He's so cute, right? Right? Just look at that little smile. I'll be leaving him alone from now on. Moving on, to make the pet feel more alive, I wanted to make it wander back and forth across the screen. And I thought that'd be simple, right? Because, it's just making him move back and forth on the screen. Shouldn't be too hard. But oh my god, was I wrong. I spent like 2 to 3 hours trying to get this wandering AI working. And he would just keep running away from me. I had no idea what was going wrong. I guess he really didn't like that comment I made about him earlier. But man, I was stuck on this for so long. I eventually did figure it out, but it was a struggle. And I had also added the music into the scene, so when he was running away from me, I also had to listen to this droning stock music. But now he walks back and forth on the screen so nicely. Look at him. Look at him being such a good boy. And yeah, that's all I have done for this minigame so far. It's mostly finished, actually. There's just a few quality of life things I need to add, and of course, all the rest of the sprites. But that's for later. I'm not really sure if I want to keep making these devlogs. I know that at the start, I said I wanted to start them to help keep myself motivated to complete the project. And I was like thinking, oh, if I have an audience who's interested in my game, that'll be sure to keep me going. But that won't really work if nobody watches my videos. So I'll have to see, because these videos take time to make, a time that I could be using to work on Simulator Game Simulator. And if I do end up making a second one of these, I will be talking more about this game, Simulator Game Simulator, and what it is and what it's about. So if you ever want to hear more about this project and also follow the development of it, go drop a subscribe and a like to let me know you want to see more. But yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time. Bye.